Hello everyone and welcome to Barca News. It's January 6, 2023, and Joan Laporta has confirmed that Barcelona need to make up 26 million euros in revenue in order to continue under the 1-to-1 rule. Also, the first contacts have been made with Lamine Yamal's camp for his contract renewal, and it's being reported that Mateu Lahoz could end up retiring at the end of the season. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and another reminder that I'm currently conducting a Barcelona jersey raffle where the winner is going to get to pick which Barcelona jersey they'll get to take home, whether it's the home kit, away kit, or the third kit. And the winner will also get to pick what name and number will be printed on the back, and of course what size of jersey as well. Now all you have to do to participate in this raffle is to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment on Sunday's video, which is when Barcelona are gonna face off against Atletico de Madrid. Now I'll begin with the news that preparations are still underway as the team are getting ready for their next opponent, which will be Atletico de Madrid on Sunday, January 8th, 2023. In a match that's expected to be very difficult and challenging because, as always, El Cholo Simeone's team is always a difficult opponent for any team that plays against them. Now, before the match on Sunday, Barcelona are going to know who will be their next opponent in Copa del Rey, because tomorrow, Saturday, January the 7th, will be the Copa del Rey draw, where Barcelona are going to find out who their opponent will be in the round of 16 after they defeated Intercity 3-4 in the round of 32. Now, speaking of Copa del Rey, there was some alarm raised and there was some scare in the Barcelona camp after Ousmane Dembélé felt some discomfort and was seen stretching several times throughout the match after receiving several hits by the Intercity defenders. But after conducting medical exams on the player, the Barcelona medical staff are now confirming that Ousmane Dembélé has not suffered any injuries and that he is completely fit and will be available for the match against Atletico de Madrid. Now, speaking of Ousmane Dembélé, as I've reported previously, PSG are currently interested in signing the French winger because they're reportedly trying to offload Neymar, and they consider that Ousmane Dembélé is the perfect replacement for their Brazilian attacker. Now, as I reported in yesterday's video, Joan Laporta during an interview confirmed that Ousmane Dembélé is not for sale and that Barcelona are not interested in selling the French attacker no matter how much money they're offered. And now Ousmane Dembélé has also stated that he is not interested in leaving to PSG. And Ousmane Dembélé said, "I signed a new contract at Barca 4 months ago and I'm happy here. I want to keep working and improving at Barcelona. I am good here. I am happy in Barcelona. I like my life here. The coach trusts me and the board too. I like the faith there is and the atmosphere around here." Now, speaking of Joan Laporta and the interview that he gave, more headlines have come out of that interview. And one of those headlines is that Joan Laporta has confirmed that Barcelona need to make up 26 billion euros in revenue in order to continue under the 1-to-1 rule. Now, as I've explained in previous videos, the 1-to-1 rule says that for every euro that Barcelona make in revenue, they'll be able to use the entire euro to sign new players. So if Barcelona offload a player for 100 million euros, they would be able to use the entire 100 million euros in order to sign new players. Now, that has not always been the case at the club. Barcelona were under the 1-to-3 rule last year, which meant that for every euro that Barcelona made, they would only be able to use 33 cents in order to sign new players. Now, given that Barcelona were eliminated out of the Champions League, they have lost on some revenue because UEFA pays teams who qualify to the round of 16 and pays them more if they qualify to the quarterfinals and to each subsequent stage. And since Barcelona failed to qualify, they missed out on that money from UEFA. And of course, they also missed out on money from TV rights for being in the competition. Now, Joan Laporta has confirmed that Barcelona need to make up 26 million euros, which is how much they missed out by not being in the Champions League, in order to continue under the 1-to-1 rule next summer transfer market. Now, Joan Laporta said, "At this moment, to be able to sign with the 1-to-1 rule, we would have to obtain an income of 26 million euros. This is the amount that has been attributed to us as losses after the elimination of the Champions League. If we reach the final of the European League, for example, we would get 21 million euros. If we add the friendlies, for example, we would already have it. We have recovered our prestige and there are investors, sponsors, and clubs interested in organizing Barca matches. We will reach June with the possibility of signing with the 1-1 rule. Now it seems that Joan Laporta is very optimistic and he's sure that Barcelona are gonna be able to make up that 26 million euros that they have lost by being eliminated from the Champions League. And he is confident that Barcelona could continue under the 1-1 rule, because if they can't, then it will be very difficult for Barcelona to make any signings next summer. And as I've already reported previously, Barcelona have several plans to sign players next summer, including the signing of Youssoufa Moukoko from Dortmund, signing of a reinforcement for the right back position, and of course a signing for a pivot to replace Sergio Busquets, whose contract will expire at the end of the season. Now, regarding Sergio Busquets' replacement, Joan Laporta said, "The coach proposes players he thinks are best to reinforce the team with. The technical team studies the viability of the signings and proposes other names. And in the end, the club decides." Now, Joan Laporta was asked about signing Ruben Neves, and he said, "He's a great player, but this is part of private conversations. Busquets will not be eternal, and there are internal discussions about finding a strong substitute. Frankie de Jong can play in that position, but one player is not enough. Xavi will end up deciding." Now, as I reported previously, Xavi's number one option to replace Sergio Busquets is Real Sociedad's midfielder Martin Zubimendi, but of course Barcelona are not willing to pay the 60 million euro release clause for that player. Now, the Sporting's committee favorite option to replace Sergio Busquets is Ruben Neves, whose agent Jorge Mendes has already arranged for the transfer of the player from Wolverhampton to Barcelona, and that transfer is pending the green light from Xavi, who is reportedly not convinced that Ruben Neves will be the perfect fit to replace Sergio Busquets. So we're gonna have to see who Barcelona and Xavi are gonna end up agreeing on in regards to replacing Sergio Busquets. So it looks like we're gonna be talking about this topic for several months to come. Now on to the news that Barcelona have made initial contacts with Lamine Yamal's camp in order to extend his contract. Now, as I reported previously, Lamine Yamal is a 15-year-old winger who currently plays with the Barcelona under-19 youth team, and he has been described as the crown jewel of La Masia, and Xavi is reportedly very impressed with this young player, and his staff say that they haven't seen quite talent like this in several years, probably going as back as when Lionel Messi, Andres Iniesta, and that generations of players graduated from La Masia. Now, Lamine Yamal's contract with Barcelona will expire in the summer of 2024, and he will turn 16 in July in the summer. And once he turns 16, then he will be able to sign his first professional contract. And Barcelona are not only trying to extend Lamine Yamal's contract with the club, but they're also trying to give him his first professional contract with Barcelona. Now, every major European club are currently after Lamine Yamal, and they're trying to take him away from Barcelona. So the club are really trying to secure this young talent, so much so that Joan Laporta himself has decided to conduct the negotiations in order to ensure that Barcelona can keep this young talent amongst their ranks. Now, it's reported that Lamine Yamal wants to remain in Barcelona, but still the club consider that these will be very difficult negotiations with Lamine Yamal's father, who's acting as his agent, because Lamine Yamal's father knows the value of his son and knows that every major European club want to sign him. So as such, he's going to be looking to squeeze every last penny out of the club. Now, it's being reported that Barcelona have made the initial contacts with Lamine Yamal's camp to extend his contract and give him a professional one. And it's been reported that these initial contacts have been positive ones. So hopefully it remains this way, and hopefully Barcelona can secure this young and bright star. Now, we will end today's video with the news that it's being reported that Mateu Lahoz could end up retiring at the end of this season. Now, Mateu Lahoz is a terrible referee who always likes to make matches about himself and likes the center stage, and he always likes to hand out yellow cards and argue and fight with players and coaching staffs. And every time he refs a match, the teams involved end up being prejudiced. And all of us who have been watching La Liga for quite some time are aware of Mateu Lahoz's terrible refereeing. However, it wasn't until the World Cup that his terrible refereeing became world known after he refereed the match against Netherlands and Argentina, and he set a World Cup record when he handed out 18 yellow cards. Now, Mateu Lahoz once again screwed us over this last week in the match between Barcelona and Espanyol, where he handed out 13 yellow cards and 3 red cards, one of them which he ended up retracting. Now, given the terrible performance of Mateu Lahoz in the Catalan Derby, La Liga have not given him any matches this weekend for him to ref, and it's now being reported that he could end up retiring at the end of the season. And I really hope that Mateu Lahoz does end up retiring, because he is a terrible referee and he has no business refereeing any professional matches. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I'd like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.